Good morning from the hotel room here in Madeira. Do you like the curtains? Pretty nice, right? Today, all day with the Hasselblad X2D II and the 35-100E. This is the perfect kit for today because a lot of what we're going to be doing is landscape-driven photography with a couple in it. So it's a elopement style, wedding couple, big landscapes. And within the next hour, we're either going to see one of the best sunrises that we've ever seen in our lifetime with a Hasselblad, or we're gonna get weathered out. Looks like a 50-50 shot right now, but we're gonna go do it anyways. So let's get in the car and go spend the day. Hasselblad X2D II and the 35-100E. All right, a few notes on the X2D II and things that I've been really impressed by. We were in Japan last week and I was shooting 12-second exposures. Not completely handheld, I was up against a post, but I could do a 12-second exposure handheld, 2, 4, 5 seconds even. You can do completely handheld, just have 3 points of contact, so camera in your hands and also pressed up against your face through the viewfinder. The screen, the viewfinder are lovely, but overall, I think my biggest takeaway is how easy this camera is to use in a variety of different settings. And that means whatever we're going to find ourselves doing today, I am suspecting we're going to do some slow shutter speeds and create some sort of movement in frames, but then we're also going to be taking crisp, sharp images. I shoot most of my images completely wide open, so that means at f2.8, at 35, or at f4. I will have my camera in aperture priority today. A regular wedding day, I would likely be in full manual. What I've noticed with the X2D II is that it does a really good job of metering and understanding scenes. White balance as well. I will probably lock my white balance to shade because I just really like that warm preview, and I like when the screen gets me excited about my images. I also shoot a lot of backlit images, and I am basically, the camera will understand that I'm trying to white balance for skin tones, but if I just set it to shade, I'm for the most part going to have my couple's faces in the shade. So rather than white balancing for the scene overall, I'm going to be exposing just for the person in it, and I'm doing that by setting my white balance to shade. Medium format has a bit of a different look, so if you are familiar with full frame terms, 35-100 isn't a full frame 35-100 on medium format. The sensor is larger, and that means that a 35-100 is a little bit more like a 28-75, which is a lens that I find to be incredibly useful for a situation like this, for travel, for a wedding day. It is really, really nice. You have the ability to zoom all the way in and get more close-up shots with an f4 bokeh, which is not an f4 on full frame terms. You kind of also, at least the look, you take the crop factor, the negative crop factor of a medium format camera, and that also, it feels like it gets applied to the bokeh as well. Obviously, it's only letting through f2.8 worth of light at 35, but the look is more like an f2 lens in my opinion, and it's a different feeling image overall. I know a lot of people talk about the medium format look. I would say overall, the look or the feeling I get is just a really nice and interesting background separation that you don't really see in full frame. And if you want more background separation, there are a variety of other lenses that you can get. The next one on my list, so I've shot the 55 a lot here on the channel. I'll put a link to a video at the end of this video that we use the 55 in, and I find a 55, it's more of a 40mm in full frame equivalent, and I find that that is a perfect walk around lens for me. And if I want to go for a slightly smaller kit for an all-day walk around lens, that 55 is usually a go-to. Now, if I was at a wedding, the 90 is what I'd be looking at. So for portraits, I feel like it's the 90 f2.5 really is wonderful. It is the next lens on my list, and basically what you're getting with that is you're getting a prime lens. I wouldn't even say, if you're thinking in past terminology about primes versus zooms, zooms on Hasselblad system, they look as great as the primes. What you're getting with the prime is just a smaller form factor as well as an f2.5 aperture at 90mm. The good news is, regardless of what lens you're getting with your Hasselblad camera, it is going to be really a wonderful experience. You're going to be so impressed when you look at the images on a large monitor. On social media, they look great, they're lovely, but where the images truly come alive is either in print or on a larger screen. Started out as a bit of a misty, foggy day, and we were uncertain what was going to happen, but then we were blessed by sun. And the way that the sun came into this lens around, I'm going to say like 40 to 45 millimeters, it drew a perfect slice of sun onto my couple, and it was perfect. It was amazing. It was lovely. I love the flare from this lens. It really is incredible. It handled all the situations exactly as I would want it, and I actually have the back wheel set to exposure compensation. So usually I just do full manual controls, which means my aperture is typically on my front wheel and my shutter speed is on my back. But today I'm shooting in aperture priority mode, and I'm just using exposure comp in the back, and I've been really enjoying doing that. I'm also shooting everything around 50 ISO, and sometimes I'll put my aperture up to f16 or f20 in one of the cases and get a little intentional movement in my shots. I think it looks pretty nice. I don't want to overdo it, as with any trend, but some of them, I feel like the screen on the back of the Hasselblad, so it's end-to-end HDR in medium format, which is amazing. The screen is also, I think, underrated. Looking at this screen in comparison to anything else, really just this one stands out. But that said, I do have a pretty good idea of what final images I'm going to select based on that. But overall, when I get onto a proper 4K monitor, which is where this camera really does excel, it's at that point usually that I decide what are actually the best images from the shoot. So what I think is the best right now, probably not going to be. The ones that I might have overlooked on the back of the monitor might end up being my favorite photos of all time. Right now we're grabbing a quick coffee and a sandwich, and then we are going to head on to the next location. And the weather looks like it gave us some sun, but then it kind of came back in. So we're gonna see what the rest of the day entails for us. But we have a lot of locations. It is a Roadie workshop, and I do these workshops with my friend Cole. And Cole runs quite an incredible schedule. His planning, amazing. But there are a lot of locations for us to see today. So let's get back in the car and on to the next spot. Now, the Hasselblad X2D II is a 100 megapixel sensor. And you might be like, why would you want that for weddings? But in a situation like this, it is really, really perfect because it is a big landscape scene as well as a wedding photo. So it's very nice to have the ability to print as large as you want, or to crop in and create different frames from the final frame that you shot on the camera. The bit depth, you can also shoot 16-bit files on here in RAW. And that basically means that when you get into post-production, you start editing the image, but there are really no limits that I can feel, at least with a roughly properly exposed image. You really can do anything, and you can make the final file look exactly as you want it to. And in perfect situations, maybe you don't have to do much to the file. The JPEG or the HDR file coming off your camera, maybe that's great and that's your final image. But for this morning, when we had a lot of dynamic range, it was very nice to know that this camera had my back and it was not going to be a problem to balance out that image in post-production. But that said, even the straight out of camera file looked really good. Overall, very, very impressed with this camera. Now on to the next location. Now, some updates over the original release of this camera is that you now have a 5D joystick on the back here, which is really helpful. This button down here I have set to my focus areas. So focus areas will pop up on your left, and then your subject detections will pop up on the right. I'm just using people today, and it's been very good. Autofocus continuous. Very, very, very happy to see that come to Hasselblad. And with this lens, it works really well. There are a number of custom buttons all around the camera that you can use if you want. But the default setup that it comes set up to, I feel like I didn't change anything. You can also set action, so if you press down on the dials, so obviously you can go left and right on these dials, but if you press them down, it can reveal more functionality for you. So if you want to customize this out, you really can. For me though, yeah, they did a good job figuring out where to put the buttons. Yeah, everything works really well. Now, one of my favorite features of the X2D II, and something I'm really, really happy to see, is a 1 terabyte built-in SSD. So there is a card slot for a CF Express card, but you can just shoot only to the SSD if you want. You can also shoot backup so that you're shooting to the SSD as well as your CF Express card. But for travel and this style of work, I'm really happy to just use the hard drive built in. Really nice. You just connect it over USB-C and it's really fast to download, surprisingly fast to download. Just make sure you have a correct cable to do it. I would say that's usually the bottleneck for me. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hasselblad X2D II as well as the 35-100. Lots of great upgrades, autofocus continuous, 5D joystick, 1 terabyte of built-in memory, and 100 megapixels, and the files are just beautiful, 16-bit. Again, if you are interested, you can do end-to-end medium format HDR within this camera. The screen also will show you those HDR images on the back as well. The screen also pops out like that. So if you want a little more control over the angle your screen is set to, that's also really nice. Thanks so much for Hasselblad for sponsoring this video. I'll see you again next time.